My girlfriend asked if her ex could crash at our place for a few weeks. This was not a small request. We had been living together for 2 years. Our apartment was our space, private, just us. Now she wanted her ex-boyfriend to sleep on our couch. Her reason was his commute. He had just started a new job downtown, about 10 minutes from our apartment. But his place was across the city, over an hour each way in traffic. He was exhausted, spending 3 hours a day commuting. It was temporary, she said, just until he found a place closer to work. Maybe 3 weeks, a month at most. I asked why he could not stay with his own friends or family. She got defensive immediately. Marcus was her friend. They dated years ago but stayed close. He was going through a hard time. We had the space. It was the right thing to do. I asked how she would feel if my ex needed to stay with us. The question hung there. She did not answer. She just looked at me like I was being unreasonable. I said fine. 3 weeks maximum. He sleeps on the couch, contributes to groceries, respects our space. She hugged me, called me the best, promised it would not be weird. It was weird from day one. Marcus moved in on a Saturday. He showed up with 2 suitcases and a gym bag. Tall guy. Fit. Confident. The kind of person who takes up space without trying. He shook my hand and thanked me for letting him stay. He said he really appreciated it. He promised he would stay out of our way. He said he would be gone before we knew it. The first week was tolerable. He left early for work, came back around 7, ate dinner, watched TV, and went to bed on the couch. Quiet. Respectful enough. But I noticed things. The way Emma lit up when he walked in. The way they had inside jokes I did not understand. The way she asked about his day with genuine interest, while mine got a distracted nod. By the end of that first week, Marcus started talking about apartment listings. He would scroll on his phone at the kitchen counter and say he was looking. He even showed Emma a couple places he claimed he might tour. It felt like proof that this really was temporary. Then week 2 hit and everything shifted. One evening I came home and found them cooking together. Laughing. Music was playing. It was one of those indie playlists Emma used to make for us. Wine was already open on the counter. Emma saw me and smiled wide. She told me Marcus knew an amazing pasta recipe from his time in Italy and that I should sit down and relax because it would be ready soon. I asked if she needed help. She waved me off. They had it under control. Marcus was showing her the proper way to make carbonara, apparently. I sat on the couch and watched. They moved around each other with practiced ease. She handed him ingredients before he asked. He knew which drawer held the spoons. Comfortable. Familiar. Like they had done this 1,000 times before. Dinner came out 10 minutes later. The 3 of us ate at our small table. Conversation flowed easily between them. Remember that restaurant in Rome? Remember that terrible hostel in Barcelona? Remember when we got lost in Prague? I tried joining in. I asked about Prague, and Emma gave me a quick summary, then turned back to Marcus. More stories, more memories I was not part of. After dinner, Marcus offered to clean up. Emma said she would help. They stood at the sink together, shoulders brushing, laughing about the time he broke a plate at her parents' house. I told Emma I had work emails to catch up on and went to the bedroom. Really, I just needed space. I needed to not watch my girlfriend and her ex recreate their relationship inside my apartment. Week 3 brought a pattern that made my stomach turn. I would come home and find them on the couch together. Watching a show. She would be curled up on her end, feet tucked under her. He would be on his end. They were not touching, but the space between them felt charged, comfortable in a way that made me uncomfortable. They started having coffee together every morning. I would walk into the kitchen at 6:30 and find them already up, already dressed, already deep in conversation. The coffee pot already empty. Like they were the couple getting ready for work, and I was the roommate intruding on their routine. Emma stopped asking about my day. I would come home with stories from work, frustrations, small victories. She would nod absently while scrolling her phone. But when Marcus walked in 30 minutes later, she put the phone down immediately, asked how his day was, listened like it mattered, laughed at his stories, gave advice on his work problems. All her attention went to him. One evening, I tried to talk to her about it. I asked if everything was okay between us. She looked genuinely confused. Everything was fine, she said. Why would I ask that? I told her we barely talked anymore, that she seemed distant. She blamed stress. Work was busy. Having a guest was more exhausting than expected. But everything was fine with us. Except it was not. One Thursday, I had to work late. A client presentation ran long. I texted Emma around 6 to let her know I would be home around 9. She responded with a thumbs up. Nothing else. No question. No offer to save me dinner. I got home at 9:15. The apartment was dark except for the flickering glow of the TV. Emma and Marcus were on the couch. Chinese food containers were scattered across the coffee table. Her favorite order from the place 2 blocks away. The place we used to order from every Friday. They were watching an action movie. They were sharing a blanket. I stood in the doorway for a moment, watching, the way their shoulders touched, the way Emma laughed at something on screen and Marcus smiled down at her. I asked if they saved me any food. Emma jumped. She turned around and looked genuinely surprised to see me, like she forgot I existed and would eventually come home. She apologized quickly. They ordered for 2. She said they did not know exactly when I would be home, but there was leftover rice in the fridge, and some spring rolls, the scraps. They left me the scraps. Marcus offered to order me something fresh, his treat, to make up for it. I said I was not hungry anymore. I went to the bedroom and closed the door. I lay there in the dark, listening to them laugh at the movie. Listening to my girlfriend enjoy her evening with her ex while I was alone in my own bedroom. That weekend was worse. Saturday morning, I woke up to find Emma gone. She left a note saying she went to help Marcus look at apartments. They were gone for 6 hours. When they came back, they were laughing. Emma told me they found a great place, but it was not available for another month. So Marcus would need to stay a bit longer. She asked if that was okay, like she was asking to borrow a charger. I told Emma we needed to talk privately. In our bedroom, I reminded her this was supposed to be 3 weeks. It had been almost 4. Now she was telling me another month. She insisted nothing was going on. He was just a friend. They were helping each other out. I was being paranoid. I pointed out she spent more time with him than with me. That they had dinners without me, watched movies without me, went apartment hunting together. She accused me of being jealous, insecure, not trusting her. I asked if she still had feelings for Marcus. She hesitated. Just a beat. A tiny pause. But it was the kind of pause that changes everything. Then she recovered and denied it. Ancient history. She loved me. This was temporary, but that hesitation stayed with me. The next week, I came home early one day. I wanted to surprise Emma. The apartment was quiet. Then I heard voices from the bedroom. Our bedroom. I walked down the hall. The door was open. Emma and Marcus were sitting on our bed, close together, looking at something on her laptop. I asked what they were doing. They shifted like they got caught doing something they knew looked wrong. Emma said they were looking at furniture for Marcus's new place. Her laptop had a bigger screen. I asked why they were on our bed. She said the couch was uncomfortable. What was the big deal? I told Marcus to get out of our bedroom. He left immediately. He apologized. He said he did not think about it. I turned to Emma and asked why her ex-boyfriend was sitting on our bed. She got angry. She said I was making something out of nothing. They were just looking at furniture. I was being ridiculous. I told her this was not working. Marcus needed to leave. She refused. She said he had nowhere to go. His new place was not ready. He was our guest. I could not just kick him out. I reminded her I did not agree to an indefinite stay. I did not agree to him taking over our lives. We fought for what felt like an hour. She cried. She said I was being cruel, that Marcus was important to her, that I was asking her to choose. I said yes. I was asking her to choose. She did not say the words out loud, but she chose him anyway. After that, the lines disappeared completely. Emma stopped coming to bed at night. She started falling asleep on the couch next to him. I would wake up in the middle of the night and see the glow of the TV from under the bedroom door. In the morning, she would still be out there. They started cooking breakfast together. Coffee would already be made when I walked into the kitchen. Like they were the couple and I was the guest. I barely saw Emma alone anymore. Every conversation happened with Marcus in the room. Every plan included him. 2 nights later, I came home to find candles lit, music playing, the table set. For 2. Emma and Marcus were having dinner. Wine, nice plates, the kind of meal you plan, the kind of setup you do when you want it to feel like something. Emma saw me and her face went red. She rushed to explain that Marcus cooked. She helped. They made too much. There were leftovers in the fridge for me. I looked at the scene, the candles, the wine, the way they were sitting close, the way it all looked exactly like a date. I asked what this was. Marcus started to stand up like he wanted to escape. I told him to sit down. I told both of them to sit down. Then I looked at Emma and asked her directly if she was in love with him. She started crying. She said it was complicated. She did not plan this. She loved me. But being around Marcus again reminded her of who they were together. It made her question things. I asked if anything physical happened. She swore no. Nothing physical, just emotional, just feelings coming back. I looked at Marcus and asked if he was in love with her. He met my eyes. He said yes. He said he always had been. He said breaking up was the biggest mistake of his life. And when Emma offered to let him stay, he saw it as a second chance. I asked Emma if she knew he felt that way. She looked down at her plate. She admitted yes. They talked about it, about their feelings, about what it meant. I asked when that conversation happened. She whispered that it happened last week, after apartment hunting. They talked about everything, their past, whether they could have a future. I stood up. I told them both to pack their things and get out. Tonight. Right now. Emma panicked immediately. She asked what I meant. I said exactly what it sounded like. Both of them needed to leave. This minute. She started begging. She said we could work this out. She would cut off Marcus completely. He would leave tonight and we would fix things. Therapy, anything, whatever I needed. I laughed. Even to me, it sounded bitter. There was nothing to fix. She brought her ex into our home and let him take over our lives. She developed feelings for him while I paid rent and watched from the sidelines. She had romantic dinners while I worked late. She made him breakfast while I ate alone. She made her choice every single day. Now I was making mine. Marcus tried to apologize. He said he never meant for things to go this far. He said he would leave immediately. I cut him off. I told him he had 30 minutes to grab his things and disappear. Anything left behind would go in the trash. Emma cried harder. She asked where she would go, what she would do. I told her she already had an answer. Marcus. She insisted this was her home too. Her name was on some of the bills. She had rights. I told her the lease was on me. I was the one responsible for the place. And I was done living like a third wheel in my own home. She looked devastated. She said we had 2 years together and that had to mean something. I told her it did mean something. It meant she should have thought about consequences before bringing him here, before choosing him over me every single day, before having candlelight dinners like I was not even part of her life. I went to the bedroom and started packing her things. I threw clothes into a suitcase, gathered her toiletries, her books, her laptop. She followed me, begging, promising, swearing it would never happen again. I asked her one simple thing. Did she love Marcus? She cried and said she did not know. Maybe, but she loved me too. I told her loving two people means choosing neither. She needed to figure out what she wanted, but she needed to do it somewhere else. I finished packing and carried the suitcase to the living room. Marcus had his bags ready. He looked uncomfortable, guilty. I told them both to leave. Emma grabbed my arm one last time. She asked if there was any way to fix this. I said no. She killed whatever we had the moment she asked Marcus to stay. I just did not see it until now. They left together. I locked the door behind them. I stood in the silent apartment. I looked at the dinner table. The candles still burning, the wine half full. I blew out the candles. I poured the wine down the sink. I threw away the food. I erased all evidence of them. That night, I slept better than I had in weeks. Emma tried calling the next day. I did not answer. She texted. I blocked her. Marcus sent an email apologizing. I deleted it without reading. A week later, a mutual friend reached out. Emma was staying with Marcus. They were together now. The friend said Emma felt terrible about how it ended. I said good. They deserved each other. The friend said I was being harsh, that Emma made a mistake, that she still loved me. I said if she loved me, she never would have put me in that position. She never would have prioritized her ex over her boyfriend. She never would have let it go that far. It has been 3 months. Emma tried reaching out twice more. I never responded. I heard they are still together, living in his new apartment. I hope they are happy. I am happier without them. The first few weeks were hard. Coming home to an empty apartment, no one to talk to, no one to cook with. But then it got easier. I started enjoying the silence, the space, the freedom to live my life without watching my girlfriend fall for someone else in real time. I am dating someone new now. We have been seeing each other for a month. She asked about my last relationship. I told her my ex moved her ex-boyfriend into our apartment and fell in love with him. She was horrified. She asked how long I let that go on. I admitted too long. I should have kicked him out after week 1. I should have trusted my gut. She said, at least I learned. At least I know what I will not accept anymore. She was right. I will never let someone disrespect my home like that again. I will never let someone bring chaos into my peace. Sometimes I think about that dinner, the candles, the wine, the way they looked at each other like the rest of the world did not exist. I am glad I came home when I did. Glad I saw the truth. Glad I had the strength to end it. Some people still think I was too harsh, that I should have given Emma another chance. But there was nothing to chance. She made her choice every day Marcus stayed, every dinner they shared, every moment they chose each other over, including me. I just made the choice official. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe.